In preparation for my first clinical day, I was given a lot of information about past instructors, what they had done, floor assignments, how your day is broken out, given that to the students and going over that with them for orientation. I think they found that the most helpful because they were brand new to this whole wonderful world of how to take care of a patient. I think, thinking back as a student, I remember how scary it is to walk into a patient's room for the first time. That is huge. Like, where do you say? Where do you start? Where do you go? And I think having them break down their day for them and say, this is what I need at this time, by this time you should be here, that was extremely helpful. And I got that from other clinical faculty who had given me that kind of input. This is really where you need to go. I would definitely do that again. I would probably refine that a little bit and not make it so generalized, even though your day can go, it can go either way. Your day doesn't always follow a schedule, but I think giving them definite points where they need to be throughout the day is a good place to go.
I was lucky in that that some of the nurses, you could find out who is the person who could be your resource on the floor, and utilize them arriving early. And you know, I would arrive a good hour before the students would get there, as well as going in the day before, picking out student assignments, talking to the nurses about what's going on and who would be a good patient, but also just to get a sense of the floor and the feeling for what's going to be happening.
Take every ounce of resources that you can, and don't be afraid to ask any question from the people who are there to help you. They are just a wealth of knowledge, and you know, the whole academia world is completely new to me, but the bedside world was not. So to blend those two together, I definitely needed help, and I took the help. I definitely was open to all suggestions regarding my teaching styles and regarding you know, reading books and everything I could. My approach into the teaching clinical was I wanted to be the teacher that I always learned the most from, and that wasn't necessarily the hardest one, and it wasn't the one who was the easiest one. It was the one who I felt I could speak to easily and not feel that I was being judged by the questions I was asked. I just felt being approachable was the best person for me, and I did have a lot of students come to me with problems, and we could work through them without having it come to a head on things. So I was nervous. I hope I didn't let the nerves show. I tried to be confident, even though inside I was really, really scared, because these are people's lives, and these are, you know, you've got your patients' lives, but you're working with these students who this is what they want to do, and you want them to be such a wonderful product of the university.
Think about people's strengths and weaknesses right from the very first day, and that would be a piece of advice that I would give, is that in their weekly journal that you get, if I were to do something differently, the paperwork was a little bit intense, and the students were complaining about the amount of paperwork that they had to do, but I think I would have focused a little bit more on that journal, so you get a good sense of where they feel like they're, on every single week, they feel their strengths are and what they need to work on, and give my feedback a little bit more in depth on that.
If somebody was doing something wrong, I would immediately address it, as to maybe instead of later on saying, I saw this and I hope it doesn't happen again. I think I would just nip things in the bud before they get out of control. And it can be minor things like a student with a coffee cup on the floor. I saw it once and I spoke to the student after. Oh yeah, I'll never do that again. Yet it happened and happened again. So I think I need to be a little bit stronger and more firm in certain things that I do, and especially in the professionalism development type thing. I think there's a big gap as to what the students feel is professional and what I feel is professional. So
sometimes I felt a little uncertain if something I observed in a student was going to be an issue or if it wasn't going to be an issue. But I think at this level you have to treat everything as if it's going to be an issue and not let anything go by the wayside, because the rotation does go so quickly, and when it comes to that final evaluation, you don't want to have any surprises. You don't want that student to feel shocked by anything that you say. It should be stuff that they've heard over and over and over again, and they know exactly where they stand and what they need to work on, because it is a very quick amount of time.
But then the beauty of it is that by the end of this semester is seeing them taking away what I said to them and really walking into a room and saying, "Hi, my name is, I'm going to be your student nurse today," and just banging the whole day out. I mean, that was a thing of beauty to watch. And I found myself just feeling a lot of pride at the end of the semester in who they had become. And that was probably one of the most wonderful things about it being a nurse, being the educator, was taking them from where they were on that first day and watching them when they left and seeing who they have become and what they will be in the future.